What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Mehl's Mountain Garage. Thanks for viewing my channel. If you're subscribed, thanks for coming back. If you haven't, please subscribe. Leave me some comments, concerns, and upload some pretty often content and putting more up there for you guys to view. This time around, I am working on my 2000 Chevy HHR LT. It has a 2.2 liter Ecotec with a 5-speed. It's got FE5, the SS suspension, so it rides a little bit lower. It has the non-Brembo 08 and up SS front brakes, so it's just really just a bigger rotor is all, and a different pad abutment bracket or a caliper bracket. So it stops really good. Magnaflow exhaust, larger downpipe, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do here is I just changed the oil. You can check that video out and another link. I want to change the air filter. Simple enough, you would think, but oftentimes people want to do it themselves and they look under the hood and see all of this plastic junk and really don't know where the heck it's at. I don't know that the Cobalts or the G5s and whatever Saturns that else have this Ecotec, if they have the same style plastic cover. But I can tell you that the air filter is actually housed back there. So we're going to have to pull off some hardware to get it, and I'm going to do my best to show you where it's at. So to replace our air filter, this housing's got to come off. There is a hose clamp right here. It's a flathead or maybe an 8mm. You can use it also. But that is your throttle body intake tube up to the filter housing. If you can see back here, there's a metal bracket. And that bracket runs from the filter housing down to the back of the exhaust manifold. And I think that's a 13mm with a nut. But it hasn't been off in a while. It could be really rusted on there. And then right here, mine has a Torx. I don't know if they're all Torx, but that's the front bracket, and then there's another bracket in the back, and then you have your little flex hose. This little woolly. Now, if your car still has these, be very careful, because those are very fragile and they'll tear super easy. So take your time trying to get them off. I actually leave it there, get all the hardware off, and leave that in place and try and pull the whole filter housing out. There's our Torx bolt. It has a shoulder on it to go in a rubber bushing. Honestly, I'm probably going to change this out and put a regular hex head fastener in there, because as time goes on, torque fasteners strip out terribly easy. Right back here, this metal bracket, it's a 13mm. I have a flex head gear wrench. And you can pull off the nuts. There's two nuts, one on that side, one on that side. Do yourself a solid and be very careful, because your EVAP plastic hoses and lines are right there. Your EVAP purse solenoid, you can break them very easy. I've already replaced it once doing this job. I legit am set up on a ladder. Pull your hose off, pull your little woolly tube out, come across your dipstick housing. Now mind you, there's an intake air temp sensor right there. Or no, I'm sorry, that's your mass airflow sensor. My apologies. You can see the plug right there. There's the mass airflow sensor. There's your harness. See, this is on rubber bushings. 2 holes, 3 holes, hose. Our filter housing is right up in here. You can take this time and use some mass airflow cleaner if you so choose. clean up the mass airflow sensor, which I am going to do. But right now I want to pull the filter out. And I want to see what it looks like. Find out what size I believe it's Torx. It is Torx. See, I got a couple of leaves, nothing terrible, considering where I drive. But I can tell you, there's not a whole lot of. Let me turn this light off. You can't really see new light through it. It's pretty dirty. Honestly, this is like 3,000 miles. I'm going to grab a new CarQuest filter, and you can see the difference in the light. I believe these are T20. Now, if you don't have the tools or you're not a mechanic, obviously I don't recommend you do this for fear of messing up a expensive mass airflow sensor. But there are little sensors and stuff in there. This is kind of like a cartridge. I'm just going to go on ahead and clean her out with some mass airflow sensor cleaner, slap it back in. Now I don't have any codes, but this sensor's got 200-some thousand miles on it. After a good cleaning, I did get some black sludge coming out of there. We are going to put the sensor back in. It can only go in one way because of how the fasteners are indexed. So don't try and force it in the wrong way. Use your T20 Torx, stick her back in, and we'll put the filter house, put the air filter back in. Let's do a little time lapse. In, we'll go the new filter, and don't do like I did and put it the wrong way. Ready, go. Those are rubber, it's supposed to be like that. I'm going to clean the throttle body now while I have it apart. With the rest of the intake tube off, you can see I just twisted the PCV hose up out the way. You can look at the throttle body. Now this engine was a brand new crate motor. It's got 50,000, 52,000. And you can see all of the black material that's in there. I'm going to clean this out. And why that's important, I know this is straying a little bit from the air filter, but this is a drive-by-wire car, and that coking and carbon and oil buildup ends up changing the air gap clearance around a throttle blade and a throttle body bore. And the computer adjusts to keep your oil where it needs to be, but once it can get terribly bad, and oftentimes your oil gets all jacked up. Jeeps are kind of notorious for it. A lot of GMs are also. So I'm going to clean it up. I've got some 2+2 gum cutter here, and I'm going to use a brush and a rag and clean her out. Perfect. Nice and clean. Now, you want to be careful. Some throttle bodies have a clear coating or some sort of coating on there, and it's normally explicitly labeled on the throttle body somewhere about how you're not supposed to use cleaners because it jacks it up. This one doesn't have it, and this would not be the first one that I did. If you've heard otherwise, go on ahead and leave me some comments. You also got to be careful of the material that you use because this is a plastic intake manifold. So don't use really crazy stuff that can melt plastic. Well, here's a bit where it's nice to do your own work if you're at all capable. This engine was new along with the tubing, and I don't know if you can see there, but there is a lot of chafing, and it wore that down pretty good. So I'm going to get a piece of hose or maybe a piece of heat shrink and cover that area, and that appears to be rubbing on the bottom of the air box, which it appears you can see, not appears, but it's there. You can see it's right there. I mean, it wore pretty good. So I'm going to get a bit of rubber hose and split it in half, zip tie it around, and that'll protect that plastic tube from wearing out. Because I'm here to tell you, replacing emission systems plastic tubes are a pain in the butt if they're even available, especially when your vehicle's over 10 years old. We've got some hose protection on our plastic emissions hose. If your vehicle's got a lot of miles, now may be the time you want to pull the coils and check your plugs. I know mine are good. I put them in not that long ago, and that would be a different video. So let's put the air cleaner assembly back together and complete this job. Let's do a little time lapse. Ready and go. And there you have it. Clean throttle body, clean mass airflow sensor, but more importantly, a clean air filter. And again, you saw, you really couldn't see light through it. And I mean, you know, I'm not going to divulge my age, but typically if you can't see light through the pleats, or hardly any light, it's time to change it. Some people are super cheap. Maybe you can blow it out, maybe you can't. Maybe you got a K&N and you can clean it. I'm not doing that because these are like 11 bucks. Well, that about wraps it up for the HHR air filter swap. I did add the mass airflow sensor and throttle body cleaning in there. You might not want to do that if you're not a seasoned mechanic or you're afraid of jacking stuff up, because frankly they are expensive. Then I don't recommend doing it. Just change your air filter. I've got other videos for the HHR, so please go on ahead and look at the playlist and maybe look at some of the tiles and check them out. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming back. If you're new, if you like the content, please subscribe. Hit me the like, hit the comments. Check me out on my Instagram at Mehl's Mountain Garage, because there's plenty of hot rods, race cars, go-karts, other than daily crap boxes like that. Again, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.